This is the 3-step guide for setting up a successful Facebook marketing campaign using Facebook ads, funnels, and automated follow-up to attract more ideal patients into your practice. Step 1 is the Facebook ads. Step 2 is the funnel creation and build out. And step 3 is the automated follow-up. First, if you haven't already, you need to set up a Facebook Business Manager account. Go to business.facebook.com and you're going to set up a business Facebook account. What this will do is it'll keep your personal account, your personal Facebook page, separate from your business pages. This will allow other team members and other marketers or other staff to be able to access your Facebook business pages, post content, run ads, etc. But you don't have to give them your personal login information to your Facebook account. So that's the whole point of it, is just to keep things separate. Inside of your Facebook business account is where you're going to set up your ad account. Your ad account using Ad Manager is where you'll be able to create your marketing campaigns. It's where you'll set your marketing objective. It's where you'll set up your targetings, your demographic, all the settings, who you want to market to, and also where you'll actually set up your ad creatives, which is your ad copy, your images, your headlines, your text, your links, etc. The other thing that Ad Manager does for you is it allows you to track the data. So it's all your analytics. It's your cost per click, it's your click-through rate, it's your engagement, it's your reach. It's all the little metrics you need to know and utilize to make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck, to make sure your marketing campaign is working. It also allows you to create split testing and to make sure that you're utilizing the right images, the right ad copy, etc. All right, so we're going to go through Facebook ad setup. Now, when you're setting up your Facebook ad, there are 3 main sections that you're going to need to address and complete to get your ads live. The first thing that you need to figure out is your objective. What are you trying to accomplish with your marketing campaign? There are different objectives that you can choose from when you're going through to set up your first ad. Each campaign has a different objective, and any ad set or ads underneath that campaign are going to follow that objective. So one of the objectives can be traffic, which is getting as many people to a link or a site as possible for the lowest cost. Another objective could be for them to send you a Facebook message using Messenger. Another objective that you can choose from is a lead generation. But be careful, because this isn't the lead generation that takes them to another landing page. This is a lead generation using Facebook's lead generation form. So basically it's inside of Facebook. It opens a little pop-up, they're able to submit their information, but it stays inside of Facebook's platform. The other objective that's available that I recommend the most is the conversions. The conversion objective is going to be targeting people that have already shown a habit or a history of signing up for things online, filling out forms, etc. And so that's typically what you want, because you want to run your ads in front of people that are already comfortable with submitting their information. That's going to be your best leads, your lowest cost per lead, etc. Next is your ad set. Your ad set is basically your demographics and your targeting. It's who's going to see your ad. This is where you're able to set up and select your geographic location, so a radius around your practice. Most cases I recommend 7 to 10 miles, maybe 15 to 20, or even further depending on what type of practice you have. You need to do some data mining in your own practice and figure out how far patients are traveling for certain services that you offer. If you have a practice that requires patients to come in multiple times per week, like a physical therapy or chiropractic office, you need to keep your radius a little bit smaller, because people aren't likely to travel as far if they have to pass multiple other practices on the way. If you're offering a very unique, very niche specific service or program, you can probably expand your reach a little bit, because people are going to be willing to travel a little bit further for that. Or if they only need to come in once or twice or every once in a while, you're going to be able to get more people, because people are okay with traveling longer distances if it's less frequent. If you're in the middle of a very rural area in the middle of nowhere, you may expand your reach. If you're very urban and very congested with a lot of other practices around you, you may want to tighten it up. It really just depends. You got to play around with it, but a good starting point is about 7 miles. Other settings inside of the targeting are going to be men versus women, age specific targeting is very important depending on the services that you're offering. Connections, it's basically who is going to see it, if they've already liked your Facebook page or not, if they already follow your content or not. Depending on what you're doing, you may want to include people that already know who you are, or you may want to reach out to people that don't already know and like your page. If it's a new service that you're offering, maybe you want to include the people that already see your page content. If it's something that you've offered for a while and people already know that that's one of your core services that you market for, it may not make sense to market to those people because they already know you offer that. Also inside of the ad sets is going to be your placements. Basically, where's your ad going to run? Is it going to be on Facebook? Is it going to be on Instagram, on the news feed, on the side column? Is it going to be in third parties? You want to really, though, keep it inside of Facebook's desktop. We find through multiple testing, and this isn't just my feedback, across the board we see that Facebook, the main column, that's where the best bang for buck is going to be. Run your ads inside of the news feed only, so you want to edit placements versus have Facebook choose for you. You're also going to set your budget up inside the ad set. Your budget is going to be basically how much you're spending each day on your marketing campaign. When it comes to budgets, it's really dependent on the practice and where you're at. But a good rule of thumb to start with, if you're new to all this, is probably $20 to $30 a day, or maybe $40 a day. $1,000 a month is a really healthy marketing ad budget for a single service. That's going to give you a lot of data. Look at it like $1,000 in spend is going to give me so much data back that I can use that data to make better decisions and then obviously improve from there. Lastly, inside of ad sets is where you're going to set up your interest-based targeting. This is where you're going to be focusing and really niching down. If you wanted to create an ideal marketing campaign, your who and your what, let's say it was for first responders, this is where you can set that targeting so only first responders will see your ad. So police, fire, etc. For example, in my state, police, fire, and teachers all have great insurance that we really like in our practice and great coverage. So we like to create specific marketing campaigns just to them because we want more of those patients in. They're also awesome people and we love to give back to them, and they make great patients. You can also market to income, education level, interests. If people follow certain influencers or they like certain pages, you can engage with them that way. For example, Dr. Josh Axe and other wellness leaders, thought leaders, if people are already following and liking that content, you can target them with your offers as well. Here are my targeting tips for new patient marketing specifically. One is targeting women more than men. Women tend to be a lower cost per lead because I think of the higher use of patients online, and they tend to just be more willing to sign up for offers and then take action and actually follow through. Plus, when you get the women in, typically they'll bring their spouse and then children in if the treatments apply or if the program works for them too. Interest-based targeting with income. When finances are in the way of making decisions when it comes to healthcare, things get a lot easier. So if you're a practice that offers higher ticket items or cash items, you may want to make sure that you're bringing in people that have money. Interest targeting through celebrities and other interest followings like Dr. Axe, Dr. Oz, health and wellness, nutrition, paleo, all these different keywords that you may be using in your practice already in the language that you use daily. You can search those on Facebook's interest-based targeting and see if there's anything else in there that applies. People that follow that content may be more interested in the specific services that you're offering. When it comes to setting up your ad sets, I recommend naming your ad sets and being specific so you can stay really organized. So name them by age range that you're marketing to, the radius around the practice, and the objective that you're trying to market for. I recommend setting up individual ad set budgets versus a campaign budget. Basically, you want to fund each individual ad set equally or individually versus letting the campaign and letting Facebook decide how much money to spend on each ad set. If you do it too soon, Facebook will predetermine things maybe a little early, and then you're not going to get an effective reach on some of your ads, your ad sets, and as a result you may have data that isn't quite accurate. So start with individual ad set budgets, and then once things start to work really well and you find a few that work well, you can let those run and then turn it over to Facebook for campaign optimization. And then through the campaign, Facebook will determine how much money to spend on each ad set based off of engagement and activity and lead generation. When it comes to your budget, you want to start in the beginning of probably with about $20 to $40 a day per campaign or per objective. And make sure you're running these for at least 3 days or more before you change anything or turn anything off. One of the biggest mistakes I see with marketers, including myself, I made this mistake early on, was I turned my ads and my ad sets off too soon when they were underperforming, and then later on it kind of bit me after I needed to go back and I tried them again and then they took off and kind of kicked myself a little bit. So don't make that mistake of turning your ads off too soon. Let Facebook get a chance to learn and optimize those ads. $1,000 a month is a very healthy budget to start with for a new patient campaign, for any specific venture that you're trying to market for, or any specific objective that you're trying to market for. That ends up being, again, about $20 to $40 a day, depending on what you're doing. Remember, in most practices, depending on what type of practice you have, $1,000 for one new patient is going to be your break-even point. So you only need one new patient from that campaign objective or that campaign venture, and you're back to your even point. Anything after that is going to be profitable. Facebook needs to spend money to learn to see what's working and what's not. If you underfund the accounts or you turn them off too soon, you're gonna really hurt yourself, because Facebook needs time to optimize and learn what's working and then put more of that out there so more people get to it. Keep in mind when you're setting your budget, it should be based off your practice. It should be based off of how much a patient is worth to you, your cost per lead, your cost per acquisition. All those metrics really need to be factored in. If your patients are worth about $1,000 to you per case, then you know that you only need one patient to break even on your campaign. If you need 2 or 3 patients to break even, you need to be careful about your cost per lead and your cost per acquisition. When you're setting up your ad sets, you also want to look at different ways to split test. Some of my favorite ways to split test in the beginning are by age. So what I'll do is I'll set up multiple ad sets, and with each of those, I'll vary it by age and by sex. So for example, we'll have 3 groups of men and 3 groups of women, all of them 7 miles around the practice, but each of those will be broken up into different age ranges. For example, 25 to 34, 35 to 44, and then 45 to 55. The reason why you want to do this is because if you split test the age ranges and the genders for different ads and ad copy, you're going to get more accurate results as far as what's working, because you may see that 25-year-old women respond better to one ad copy and one image better, but the 55-year-old men respond to a different image and different ad copy better, but it's for the same offer. Next, we have your Facebook ad creative. So here's the fun part. This is the creative side. Your Facebook ad creative includes everything from the headline, the image or the videos, the carousels that you set up, the different combinations of basically images and text and links that are going to get people to take action and move to wherever you want them to go next, whether that be a landing page or to send you a message, etc. So this is going to include the things like headlines, links, images, video, which button you want to choose, etc.